What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the BladesAndEDC channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Donk, aka the Bestech Fairchild. I have officially renamed this knife the Donk, and there's good reason for that. This knife is currently in the knife sale. Depending on when you watch this video, or may not be available, just let me know, and or message me, and I'll let you know if it's still available or not. This is a giant knife, though. Know that if you're going to buy this knife. I have a medium-sized hand, so I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but still, look at this. Look at this thing. What's amazing, well, first, get this stuff out of the way. It comes with the pouch, the wipe. It's new in the box. Basically, the owner bought it. A little too big for him. Definitely too big for me. And, yeah. It's sad to me, though, because I like this knife a whole lot. I mean, I like the look of it, the feel of it, the action of it. It's just so good. I really, really hope Bestech makes a mini version of the Donk, and the rest of us can get one we can put in our pockets and enjoy, because this thing's massive. Let me give you the specs on it, and then we'll give you some size comparisons, because this is one of the more impressive size-wise knives I've come across, you know, for a folder. Let's start with some that are kind of big. Well, to me, they're kind of big. Actually, we'll start with, let's start with the Bestech. Bestech Exploit. Actually, let's go ahead and do two Bestechs. We'll put the Exploit out there. We'll put the Tonic out there. Ooh, I hate having hair out here. So, very different knives from Bestech. Very different sizes, different shapes. Although these two are kind of similar, but not. This reminds me of a kukri. I think that's what it's called, a machete. It's like a machete thing with a rounded blade like that. I think it's called a kukri. I think they're Australian, if I remember correctly. But it reminds me of kukri. But all three of these knives by Bestech, they are all really, really good. They are the fit and finish Bestech is putting out. I mean, it's impressive, man. And then when you consider in things like the what's it called? The magnetic knife. I ordered one, can't remember what it's called. It's such a long wait for that knife. The Winter Blade Co. Factor. That's it. So they're doing stuff like this. They're doing the Factor. They're doing, unfortunately, they're doing things like this, but this isn't their fault. They just did what the design said. And then they're doing stuff like this. This thing's a monster, man. And it's done so well. Let's do some other knives people may recognize a little more. We'll do a Spyderco Shaman, which is a pretty large knife, in my opinion. For a medium-sized hand, the Shaman's pretty large. And the Pair of 3 is another one, or the Pair of 2 actually is another one that I think is a pretty large knife for a medium-sized hand. I prefer the Pair of 3 much more than the Pair of 2, just for the size. So it's a big knife. I don't have anything here, I don't think, that is even remotely close to this in size. I got my future Patreon knife here, which is one of the largest knives I have, the Tucson TS301. Actually got some matching colors going on there. I didn't really think about that when I pulled that out. This one's been customized by me, and one of my patrons will be winning it. How about the AD 20.5? It's not that large, but it makes the AD 20.5 look tiny. I mean, tiny. It's unbelievable. I really hope they make a bigger version of this knife, because the only thing I don't like about the knife is the size. It's fantastic. It really is. Here's the Yojimbo 2 and the Benchmade Bug Out. Again, Yojimbo 2, you know, I'm not going to say it's closer, but compared to the Bug Out, it's closer. Neither one come close. How about the, this will be a funny comparison for you guys. This will be funny. You'll get a kick out of this. We'll start with the Sheepdog, the Kaiser Sheepdog. And then we'll do the mini Sheepdog. Look at that. Look at that thing. I love the mini Sheepdog. I can actually get 4 fingers on the mini Sheepdog, believe it or not. And if I choke up here, it's great. One of my favorite 5th pocket carries, actually. I could carry it primary, honestly, though. At my size, no problem at all. 5'9", 160 pounds, medium-sized hands. Yeah, enormous. It's an enormous knife. And I'm honest. I'm trying to understand who exactly Bestech is marketing this knife to. I know there are some of you guys out there who are large, and but the majority of us aren't that large. So, you know, it surprises me that they came out with this and not a smaller size version. And then kind of like the Kaiser Sheepdog, I guess they did the same thing, right? The Sheepdog came before the mini Sheepdog. So I guess hopefully the Fairchild or the Donk comes before the mini Donk, I guess. What would you call a mini Donk? White girl booty? I don't know. If you're white, don't be offended. It's just a joke. All right, a couple more size comparisons here. The Damn Designs Hades, and what else can we do? That people well, everybody's getting one of these right now, or not everybody, but a lot of people are. The Vista variant PE2. And this is like perfect for me, right? This knife, I love this knife. It is perfect size for my hand. Fits so well, and just look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. Just total ridiculous. Oops. Ridiculousness. Yeah. Again, I love it and hate it at the same time. I love it because of how good it is, and I hate it because of how big it is, because I want it, but I want it in a smaller version. Just take a couple inches off, right? Inch on the front, inch on the rear. That'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. Let's go with specs of this knife. Overall length is 9.1 inches. Yes, ladies, I said 9.1. ID, I know you're listening. I'm just kidding. Close length is 5.12 inches. Blade length is 3.97 inches, just under 4. Blade thickness is 200 thousandths, so pretty thick blade, pretty heavy. Blade material is S35BN, and it is 6.31 ounces. Is what is claimed. We are going to check that though, because honestly, it feels light to me. It definitely feels light. Feels like it weighs more than that to me. It seems like it's of course, maybe just because I'm not used to handling knives of this size, it feels lighter than me than it would to others. But to me, or heavier to me, it feels like it weighs more than 6.31 ounces. Oh, even less actually. Let's make sure we're in the middle there. 6.1 ounces, so actually less than the claimed weight. Yeah, I don't carry anything near this heavy. This thing would pull half my pants down. I'd be sagging if I had this knife in my pocket. So yeah, it's such a shame too, because I like it so much. It is so good. The action's fantastic. The fit and finish is top notch. It looks so good with the black and the blue, and you get a little purple in here where they've milled out this area here and anoded it. I guess they coated everything first, then milled this out, and then anoded it to get the anode inside the coating. I'm assuming it's DLC coating, but it may be PVD. I don't see anything here telling me what it is. It says the blade is blackwashed, but that even looks like it's coated too. Just a great knife, guys. Other than the size, it's really a great knife. I love this thing. It's just, I mean, even for me to reverse flick it, it takes some effort, right? Just because of the weight of that blade, which assists in that, right? It's a guillotine, but I'd be shocked if it wasn't a guillotine with a 200 thousandths blade stock. So great looking knife, great filling knife. I could only imagine what a small, because I love a forward finger choil too. A smaller version of this would be right up my alley. I'd be buying it all day long, no doubt about it. The ergos are fantastic, even for a smaller hand, so I can only imagine what they'd be for a bigger hand. Because this is going to hit a bigger hand right here in between these fingers, your middle finger and your ring finger. For me on this forward finger choil, it's hit me right on my ring finger. So, but back here it's great. Works perfectly. Up here it's not that comfortable for me just because of the size of my hand. But a larger hand it'll be perfect for. So, yeah. Whoever ends up owning this knife, or if you're considering buying this knife, I wouldn't recommend it with a medium-sized hand, but know that going into it, I have a medium-sized hand. If you've got a, I don't even think large is big enough. You're going to have extra large for this to fit right, would be my opinion, but, you know, to each their own. If you like to carry a giant knife, good for you. Way too much knife for me to carry, for sure. All right, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you're interested in this knife, comment below and I'll let you know how to get in touch with me. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. It really helps the channel to grow. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all on the next one.